Guilty as charged.
Coach, now you've got into full pads and got going a little bit. How are the guys looking out there?
Been really good. Great competition. And, I think there's been give and take on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I really like defensively how some of the young guys inside of our program, that haven't taken a bunch of snaps, are really playing great pad level, using their hands, playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. So pleased with what they're doing. Obviously, we got a long ways to go, but like the direction we're heading in.
How about your offensive line? You're replacing a couple guys. Who do you see filling those spots this year? How are they looking?
We got good competition. Parker Boudreau's had a great camp. Sam Jackson. We got great competition interiorly. The left tackle position. Trev Albert's been taking a bunch of reps. I feel good. Ed Collins is taking reps there, and then Tony Gray. Obviously we don't know anything about Tony yet, but I feel like our depth is completely different than it was a year ago on the offensive line. Because of that, you got great competition. I think that brings and forces great energy inside the meeting room, inside of the practice every single day. If you don't perform well, someone's going to slide ahead of you. The groom is constantly growing. We got great energy and presence about them. So I want to just keep developing that as we go through training camp.
Josh, what have you seen from the quarterbacks? Again, you're always going to be asked that, but what have you seen from these guys?
Yeah. First of all, they're competing with each other really well. I heard both of them applying the other guy when they made a good play today. That's important for us, just our chemistry and how we approach competing inside of our building, inside of our position room. The strength of position can never be one guy, so that is important for us. Good and bad out of all of them, and we got to eliminate the bad. They're attentive. They're wanting to be perfect. So they're continuing to grow. We got a long ways to go yet to name a guy. We got a long ways to go before a guy is able to claim it, in my opinion, right now.
Obviously, Jacob Harris showed out in the spring game, but over the summer, how has he improved, and what makes him a good candidate to possibly fill into that slot?
Jacob, first, just since he's been inside of our program, tireless work ethic, man. He brings it, the same competitive nature every single day. Weight room, conditioning, practice habits. He's pushing himself to be his absolute best, and that's why you've seen him go from a scout team guy to earning a position on special teams and becoming a dominant special teams force at the end of last year. And obviously we're hoping that he's going to become a great player on the offensive side of the ball as well. I think that's a room that has some maturity to it with some guys that have played a lot of football, but their competitive nature has been really strong in our off-season program and has been through the first part of training camp. Got a lot of young guys inside of that room that really need to grab onto that mentality, that attitude. And if they do that, then we'll develop some depth there at the wide receiver position.
How do you see Otis Anderson's role evolving this season?
Man, a guy that dynamic in the return game, right? Does a great job, runs routes like a wideout. Came out to one-on-ones. I think it was day 2, and he's taking reps in it and every day. But day 2, just was super crisp. Just really like what he's done there at the running back position. He has grown into a dynamic playmaker, a guy that does a great job of developing, taking our double teams to the second level and understanding our schemes, pressing the line of scrimmage extremely well, has great vision. Everybody knows he's got great speed, right, and out in the open is a dynamic playmaker, but just his versatility is something that I'm looking forward to seeing this year.
Do you like the way you utilized him last year?
I think there's ways for him to continue to grow inside of what we're doing. There were a lot of things that we had game planned for him certain weeks that maybe we didn't get to, one because of the scoreboard, or two, there's some weeks where all of a sudden he was nicked up in his role during the course of the week. You were really uncertain heading into to game day.
Have any of the young guys caught your eye early on? Anyone looking good out there?
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys. Tarver, defensive back, has been great on defense, competitive, mature. Has been really good in the special teams area as well. Ryan O'Keefe on the offensive side of the ball has done the same thing. And the first thing that those guys got to grab onto is the special team stuff because it's the first place you're able to get yourself on the football field. I think our young guys on both sides of the line of scrimmage have a chance to be special as they develop in our program defensively. Real athleticism will develop into great size offensively. Wide, thick, strong, going to be able to move people. I just got to continue to develop themselves physically in the weight room.
last spring in 2018 when Jake Brown was away from the team, he had a personal situation.
Spring.
Yeah. Do you remember the conversations you had with him once he decided to come back, and how big was it to see the season? He had last year?
Huge him coming back. He was an all-conference performer a year ago. In deciding to come back, focused and maturity, wanting to be a part of a locker room, a position room, a unit, just the camaraderie with the guys has been absolutely fantastic since we've come back in January. And just the way he approaches every day, more focused, and I think that'll lend himself to him playing his best football. He's got some natural leadership skills about him. Doesn't always thrust himself into that first spot in that role, but people see and feel his presence every single day on our football team.
How are the special teams battles playing out?
A long ways to go right now. I want to see them continue to kick both field goals and kickoff. The punt situation, I want to see those guys be in some live situations, and obviously it's not true live, but I want them to feel the rush around them as part of their competition and how we evaluate them. That will happen here as we get, the first time it'll happen will be at the end of this week here in some scrimmage situations.
Upperclassmen with the advantage?
I want to see consistency from all of them, and so for me, in 4 days of work, I don't think that's a big enough amount of volume to judge them yet. As we get into the back third of training camp, I think you'll probably see some separation.
Coach, you guys are having some fun out there in the offensive line. It's deciding to wear the same shirt every day, and I think you're tight
That's good.
end.
That's good and bad. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's real.
Do you have any camp traditions or anything, superstitions, or?
No. I wake up at the same time, go to bed at the same time. I might wear the same clothes too, like the big guys do occasionally too, into the office. But no true camp.
You gonna grow out your beard?
I just kind of do that during the course of the season anyways. You guys have been around me long enough to know it just kind of grows how it grows, and occasionally I'll cut it off.
What about as a player? Did you have a superstition?
I did let it grow the entire time, during training camp. I didn't do the mustache thing like some guys are doing around here. But
Jake? Like a horseshoe Jake?
the handlebars, like Jake, I didn't have enough growth. I'm not going to say I wasn't man enough to grow it, all right, but I couldn't get the growth that he certainly does.
You got a big scrimmage coming up this week? Is that
We
what you're
do,
doing
yeah. At the end of this block of days for us, I think it's Thursday, where we'll have a true scrimmage situation. We'll do some special teams work, real competition, good on good, covering distance with speed, and then we'll get into probably about a 100-play scrimmage.
Obviously, Richie Grant got a lot of accolades in July watch list. Just describe having him in your locker room, and what does he bring?
A year ago, a guy that just wanted to go out and play really well, and was his first real opportunity to get an opportunity to take a hold of a position. A year into it, really confident in what he's doing, has a better understanding, and has developed into a guy where I think defensively, but on the back end in particular, they feel his presence every day in the meeting room and on the field brings great energy. Wants to be a dynamic playmaker, and certainly has all the skills to do that. We're just want great consistency out of him and his practice habits. That will lend itself to him playing really consistent and making a bunch of plays in the fall.
Thanks a lot, Coach.